human rights.
Has human rights.
When all the world has human rights, I will work to make that happen. When all the world has human rights.
I just feel like it should continue. Yes.
We are here to encourage and treat the United States and the other nuclear nations to join this treaty, which was approved by the United Nations 4 years ago. It is now illegal under international law to possess, to develop, maintain, or threaten the use of nuclear weapons. Is there anyone else who has a few words to say?
Thank you, John. I guess no one here got my memo this morning that we were calling this off. Can't believe it. What? Anyway, yes, we are here to celebrate. And I didn't know we were going to have... John, you're amazing bringing this. I was going to say it's too cold for this, but as we pass people, let's just remind them that indeed this is the anniversary of the nuclear weapon ban treaty. And we were really asking our country to sign it. Just to see what the day looks like the next hour and a half. We'll stay here for a little bit with these beautiful signs, speaking to passerbys. And when we get to the Isaiah Wall, our intention is to read out the names of the countries there. We'll just echo the countries, the 73 countries that have ratified the TPNW. And then we have a letter that nuclearban.us, along with 140 other organizations and people have signed on to. They are delivering it to the White House today. And in synchronicity, we're going to deliver it to the UN mission. So we're walking the Isaiah Wall up there. And there, I hope, we'll
sign the treaty. Sign the treaty.
Letter.
No nukes. Zero really nuclear weapons.
And so we can, those who have a good voice,
zero nuclear weapons.
John, you going to bring this along with us? Well, if they let us use this by the mission, fine. If not, we'll just get several forums as well as the nation will share. I've got the pages. The only rule today is that Brendan Fay is not allowed to speak. Because it's too cold, and he's the best orator we have, and anyway, God bless you. No, Brendan, we look forward to some words, I think, at the Isaiah Wall, or you can say some here. I also believe in the tradition of the Quakers, who go way back, Bayard Rustin, 1940s, through the Quaker FOR tradition of silence. So we don't need to be speaking all the time. We don't have to have speakers. We can be vigiling together in silence, walking in silence. We don't need to be chanting the whole time. It's great to be here with such a beautiful community that believes that indeed we don't have to spend trillions of our tax dollars that will lead to the destruction of humanity. So thank you for standing up to that. All for those who are passing by, today is the anniversary of the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. We want our country to start the process with the other nuclear countries to sign that. So
yesterday, our president has pardoned and released the January 6th insurrectionists, thereby christening a new U.S. brown shirt military, paramilitary, that he can call upon to destroy domestic opponents. Our president's playbook is open for all to see. The threat he poses as the world's most powerful fascist, leader with the largest nuclear arsenal, ... We need to remember that in the event of a future world war, It will involve atomic bombs this time, lots of them, carrying American flag decals launched by this man. It is urgent that the U.S. agree to join and abide by the treaty to prohibit nuclear weapons, so that nuclear weapons no longer play a role in war. Thank you.
And I want to be loud about abolishing nuclear weapons. Let's just scream it to the skyscrapers. Abolish nuclear weapons. Can you hear us? Can you hear us in Washington, D.C.? Can you hear us at the U.S. mission to the United Nations? Abolish nuclear weapons. Abolish nuclear weapons. Now, there's nuclear weapons. Now, the people who came out today, they're cold. You're cold. But we are here because we feel so strongly that the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons needs to be signed and ratified by the United States and all the nuclear weapons armed states. That's right. All of them. And they have been ignoring it. They have been working against it. We need to turn the tide. Things are rough right now, but sometimes when things are rough, that's when things start to move. And maybe with all of us moving together, we can change the tide. We're out here, what is it? It was 12 degrees in Staten Island when I got up. Maybe it's going to go up to 18. Well, let's put some higher temperatures. Let's warm this place up with our call. Abolish nuclear weapons now. Sign the treaty now. Thank you. Now, I'm not going to stop talking until another quiet voice like mine comes up. Who else has a quiet voice like mine? Alice, you have a quiet voice like mine. Come on, Alice. Okay, let's sing our song. Get on the mic with me. Okay. Oh, when the people go marching in. Oh, yeah, the people go marching in. Oh, yes, I want to be in that number when the people go marching in. Now, when the people rise to act. Rise and act.
When the people rise to act. Oh, yes, I want to be in that number when the people rise to act. When we abolish nuclear weapons. When we abolish nuclear weapons. Oh, yes, I want to be in that number when we abolish nuclear weapons. In solidarity, we sound the call. In solidarity, we sound the call. Oh, yes, I want to be in that number. In solidarity, we sound the call. When all the world has human rights, the world has human rights. I will work to make that happen when all the world has human rights. Nice. Okay. Catherine, you want to come up and say something? Catherine's sign says, nuclear waste is lethal for 1,000,000 years. And she does a lot of work on nuclear waste and nuclear power. Let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you, Sally, and Peace Action, and all the groups who are here today braving this cold, cold weather. As Sally said, my banner says, nuclear waste is lethal for 1,000,000 years. But at the rate we're going, we will not be here for 1,000,000 years. We'll be lucky to be here for 1,000 years. With more fossil fuels coming into the planet, if that happens, the whole world will be like Southern California. And that is not a joke. That is not hyperbole. Science has shown us. The earth is warming. Look at what's happening. Snow in New Orleans. Why is that? The Earth's planet climate system is out of whack. Why? Because it's heated. It's heated beyond the way God created it to be. We are wrecking God's planet, God's creation. We are to be taking care of God's creation. Nuclear and fossil fuels are destroying the planet. We love our children. We love our grandchildren. Our job is to leave them a world as good as or better than we received it. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous planet. God has created so many beautiful aspects, and we all know this to be true. It's part of our job, our generation, to get rid of these things. Get rid of nuclear energy, nuclear weapons, nuclear anything that is destructive. So we have a job to do. It is a big job. It is a tough job. Getting rid of fossil fuels, they're in the same boat. Nuclear and fossil fuel, they're both destructive. We have the science and technology to create all the energy we need without fossil fuels. Yes. We have solar, we have geothermal, we have wave, we have tidal, we have sun, we have wind. We don't need the fossil fuels. Too many profiteers are looking to ruin our planet. And they need to know that the profiteers will have no place to spend their money if the earth is too hot for life. Thank you.
Seth, we have Seth Sheldon here from ICANN, and we'll take this moment, since he won't be able to stay to the end, if he could share some words to update us. Hello, everyone. Seth Sheldon from ICANN will update us on the treaty, and so thank you. Thank you, Seth, for being here. God bless you. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank everyone for being here in the cold and celebrating this occasion. I don't know, for people walking past, how many people would have heard about the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. You would be forgiven if you haven't heard much. As U.S. citizens, we are pretty good at ignoring the solutions that the rest of the world is pursuing to solve the world's greatest problems if we are not the ones leading it. But it is happening, and it is our best hope for humanity and a future free of annihilation. So let me tell you just a little bit more about it and what people here are celebrating today. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, or the TPNW, is the first and the only treaty that comprehensively prohibits nuclear weapons, everything to do with nuclear weapons, and has a framework, is building a framework for elimination of nuclear weapons. It is also the first ever treaty related to nuclear weapons that intends to address the harms to people and environments caused by nuclear weapons use and testing. Many of the people who are affected by nuclear weapons use and testing are here in New York City even, and it's part of a dark history that even New Yorkers don't know much about a lot of the time. But it was called the Manhattan Project for a reason. And I encourage everyone in our city to visit there's many things you can look up to learn more, but there's a group called the New York Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons that has a lot of great resources, including a great map at nuclearnyc.com that you can visit to learn more about that dark history. But today we're going to talk more about the solution and the TPNW. Today is that treaty's 4th anniversary, the 4th anniversary of its entry into force when it became law, international law. And as our government, the US, pursues a different path, the rest of the world is driving us toward that change. As of today, 98 countries have either signed this treaty or fully ratified it. That is exactly half of the world's governments, it happens, that have now become part of this treaty legally. And there are about 40 more countries that support this treaty and are working to join it. So we will soon see this international law become global majority. In March, just a few weeks away really, and here in New York at UN headquarters, this treaty will convene its third meeting of states parties at the United Nations. And there we're going to take decisions that will shape the future of nuclear disarmament and really build the structure for the only hope that humanity will have to eventually escape nuclear Armageddon. It is driven by those, which is most of the world, the vast majority really, based on polling data, based on surveys, based on everything we know about the history of civil society and governments that have motivated to fully eliminate this problem, and know that the status quo is unsustainable. It is really our best hope for humanity, and as members of civil society or the media or the government, it's really the least that we can do to learn more about it and to support it and encourage its progress. We are entering a dangerous time. We're already in a dangerous time. In a few weeks, we will see one of the most well-known markers of how close we are to the annihilation of humanity, called the Doomsday Clock. Many of you may be familiar with it. Update its time. We are confident that they will say that this is the most dangerous time in history and the most likely moment we are in to face nuclear weapons detonation, either on purpose or by accident, that threatens really nothing less than the end of humanity. So this treaty, it may not yet enjoy the support of the United States, but with your help, that can change. And I know it may seem to some like a faraway dream, but you have to remember that it has been in history during the darkest times when the most progress has been made. And so I think that we have to be optimistic about it, we have to be forward-looking about it, and we have to remember that, you know, if you lived, say, during the middle of a millennia of slavery, you might have never thought that slavery would be abolished. If you, even 10 years ago, you probably would have never thought that congestion pricing would pass. So I think we have to see ourselves in the moment we are and also look to the moment that we want to get to. So learn more about this treaty, join us. I'm with ICANN, the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. And we are a coalition of NGOs throughout the world. Today it's more than 700 in 110 countries that are trying to advance and support this treaty. In 2017, we won the Nobel Peace Prize for our work to advance this treaty and to raise awareness of the humanitarian consequences of any use of nuclear weapons. And like I say, you can join us. If you check out our website, icanw.org, or follow us on any of the socials, #nuclearban, you will, I think, be convinced as well and join the movement. So please do. And happy anniversary to the TPNW. Thanks, everyone.
Hello, New Yorkers! We are here on the steps of the New York Public Library on the 4th anniversary of the passing of the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. We are here because we are on fire because our hearts are warm with love for our children, our grandchildren, the earth. That is what brings us out today. That is what has brought generations of human beings out on their streets, their squares, their government buildings, saying that we can do better. Why? Because, like the Welsh poet who said, to be truly radical is to make hope possible rather than despair convincing. We are here because we are people of hope. We believe that we are capable of tenderness, of compassion, of living without nuclear weapons. Here in the city of New York, this is where nuclear weapons are created, but also some of the world's most inspiring disarmament activists are New Yorkers, were New Yorkers, from Bayard Rust and Dorothy Day, and each and every one of you and me and others who rallied and walked and organized. That's what brings us here today. And we will continue to walk, to talk, to campaign till we rid the earth of nuclear weapons. I'm very proud to be a member of NICAN, the New York campaign to abolish nuclear weapons. I am here to say we're not done yet. We continue to work to stop New York taxes being used to develop nuclear weapons and in their production. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you, everyone who participated, and to all, there are so many others around the world gathering just like we are today to continue in our campaign to abolish nuclear weapons. Because we love our children, we love our grandchildren, and we love our beautiful earth, our home. Thank you.